What's up, Earth Rockers? It's your boy Shovatar, and before I do anything, I want to apologize for the last commentary that I posted. It's like the worst thing I've ever done. But today, I'm caffeinated, I'm amped up, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to talk about Castlevania. The reason that I had so much trouble like coming up with anything to talk about in the last video is because I think I just wasn't like thinking about it right. I was thinking about it as like trying to give thoughts about the game in general for a character who doesn't play that differently from the main protagonist, when I think what I really should have been done is just sort of talking more about like what was going on in more of like a play-by-play, screen-by-screen, moment-by-moment basis. So that's what I'm going to try to do more of here. Point out the little details as they come up. That was a cool little picture back there. There's like a portrait of like a red lady in one of those frames. Bloodlines, I've heard Bloodlines described before as like a slow and methodical game, but when I first played this game, it really did feel way more like action-oriented and fast-paced than the other Castlevania games, which was the intent. I now know. Something that I think I noticed. Oh yeah, so that little gap right there where I picked up the book, that can either give you like the super upgrade for your weapon, or it can give you like a bunch of parts. And I don't know what makes it do one or the other. I kind of like Eric's like super magic attack better than John's because the thing about Chad's lightning attack is that it kind of like takes some time to get to things, and like when it hits something, it like spins around it and like does damage kind of slow. Eric's is much more like fast and feels like it has much more decisive coverage. And there, I don't think I actually wanted to pick up the magic attack again, and then this thing just fucking walks into me. I never like, you know, I love Castlevania games, but my least favorite thing in any of these games is when enemies just fucking walk into you. Like, they'll just walk forward and they don't like ever stop. And there was just like a... Now that boss can do 2 attacks. He can either scream to break the windows, or he can shoot fire. There, he just sat there and screamed over and over again, so he just died. Yeah, I don't like when enemies just fucking like walk into you, because the way that you fight enemies in Castlevania is you get safe range on them with your long ass weapon, and then you attack them. But then like if enemies just keep fucking walking at you, it's like, what are you supposed to do? You know? Here's actually a part where the diagonal spear is useful. I definitely wanted the magic for these 3 turrets here, because it's actually pretty difficult to safely approach them. One thing that I didn't note that I should have is that Eric's little super attack, which is done by like crouching until you, like, and then jumping, like when his super attack is ready and he like blinks like that, it like makes this obnoxious beeping noise that I really wish was not in the game. I think the fact that he's constantly glowing is enough of an indicator that he's ready to do his super attack. I really don't think they needed to be playing a constant like beep 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 beep, or like burp, 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 like at the same time too. I think that's a little bit excessive. This fucking guy, man. I don't know, like I don't know what I could have done differently there. I just feel like that was like a situation where you're just like stuck in a pit, and if the guy jumps on you, he just jumps on you. And that's the thing about like the super jump, is that I think in this video I was trying to find, or in this footage, I was trying to find more like uses for it, because it felt, I was like, maybe the reason that he feels so different is that I'm just underutilizing his super jump. But like jumping straight up and down in the air is like, there's really only a couple places in the whole game where that's useful. If it was any other kind of movement besides just straight vertical, then I think it would be much more interesting, because Castlevania games, generally speaking, are more horizontal than vertical. Like vertical stages are usually noteworthy because they're and are usually more difficult, because you have to like deal with things on a vertical plane that the character is not really suited to handling. So most stages are mostly horizontal, but here you give him this mode of movement that's pretty much purely vertical. I don't really understand it. I don't get why that was the decision they made. This fucking boss. I actually like hate this boss. I don't really like the way that it looks, and it sort of feels like it's like sometimes it just fucking walks at you, and I don't know what makes it either walk at you or walk away from you. Because it feels like if I just stay there and keep attacking it, I feel like it's just gonna walk into me. And then when it backs up, it does like that attack with like no wind up and no like indicator of when it's gonna do it. So it's like, I don't know, man. I just feel like I never know like what this boss is gonna do. And so the only thing that makes it easy is the fact that it just generally doesn't do much at all. That was the action shot. That was the Eric action shot that I tried to go for, jump it up in the air when the timer hit 0 on the orb. Is there such a thing as the is the Atlantis Shrine like a real place in Greece? I'm sorry if I sound like horribly ignorant now, but I'm curious. Like I've heard of the Parthenon, no, the Parthenon is Roman. I've heard of the Acropolis. I've never heard of the Atlantis Shrine. Or no, is the Parthenon on the Acropolis? Fuck. No, there's like a Temple of Zeus on the Acropolis, right? Shit, I can't fucking remember, man. I mean, I guess they went with Greece instead of Rome because they already had the Leaning Tower of Pisa in Italy, and because there's water in Greece. I mean, there's water in Italy too, but Greece is like, you think of Greece and you think of water. Atlantis Shrine. I've heard of like Atlantis, like the idea, the pseudo-historical concept, but I've never heard of like a shrine to Atlantis in Greece. Maybe it does exist. I think Greece is where the idea of Atlantis originates. Like they thought there was something out. They thought there was like a city out in the Atlantic Ocean or something. That was before the archaeological establishment. That was before Jewish historians and archaeologists conspired to hide the concept of Atlantis from us, because somehow knowledge of an underwater city would shatter the fabric of the New World Order's fragile control over Western civilization, or something. I guess that's what gives you the power to break free of Jewish brainwashing, is just knowing that there's a city in the ocean somewhere. I don't really understand. There's some conspiracy theories I get, there's some conspiracy theories I really don't get. Here's my conspiracy theory. Is this guy Alucard or what? Like, his name is Eric Lecarde. I don't know, and he's from Spain. Is Lecarde a Spanish name? I don't really know, like... I don't know what, like, names are like in Spain. Like, obviously I know like, what Hispanic names sound like. But are they that... And I know there's a lot of overlap there, but, like, how different are names in Spain from names in, like, Central and South America? I don't know. There's a lot that I don't know. I'm completely ignorant of everything except for Castlevania. And I guess World of Warcraft to a certain extent. But this is pretty much all I know. This fucking guy. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if when he jumps, he's just trying to jump on top of you. I wonder that's why I had so much trouble, like... Because all those jumps were pretty short, and it seemed like he was just trying to get, like, where I was. Yeah, that guy's kind of doing the same thing, so maybe that was why I was having so much trouble figuring out the jump, is because it was just simpler than I thought it was. Like, I thought the jump was based off, like, directions or something, but it's just like, he's just trying to jump right on top of you. Do I die here? I know at some point I died on, like, this part with the water and the Medusa heads, but I don't remember if... But I thought it was the last 1cc that I posted, maybe it's this one. Although I really shouldn't. Like, Eric is much better at dealing with these Medusa heads than Chad is. So I really shouldn't die here, but that's no guarantee that I won't. Yep, there it is. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I should have just diagonal stabbed him, but I just didn't. I didn't take advantage of the extremely useful directional, like, positional control that Eric has available to him that Chad does not, and I die for it. Unfortunate. When I talk about, like... Because I think I've probably said this in videos before, but when I talk about, like, whether I should or shouldn't die to something, I mean, like... is this a part of the game that's like a consistent problem area that like is particularly challenging, right? Like what's a good example? The best example I can think of, like for this game, I guess a good example would be like 4-8. 4-8 is really hard, so it's like if I die there, it's like, okay, that's like a spot where I would expect to die. Like that's, if I was gonna guess where I would die, that would be, because that's a particularly difficult section. But when it's spots like this, where it's not that hard, it's like, that's what I mean when I say I should or shouldn't die. It's like, this is not hard enough. It doesn't like make sense for me to die there, but it just happens sometimes anyway. Maybe that's self-explanatory, but I just figured I should clarify. It is fucking hysterical to me that you just knock that statue's head off. That's like the funniest shit I think I've ever seen in a Castlevania game. 'Cause it's like, it's like such a, it's such a hilarious like disregard for I mean, I don't know, maybe it's Dracula's fault for having his guys like post up in these priceless ancient ruins, but like the fact that you just like don't give a fuck about these like priceless historical like landmarks, you just like fuck them up. It's just funny to me. I don't know, is there like a reason why Dracula was like sending his dudes all over like European tourist destinations? Or was it just like, I mean, I'm sure, I mean, in the context of game development, I'm guessing it's just because they wanted more varied like levels. They didn't want, you know, 6 levels of nothing but Dracula's castle. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that, but I appreciate the impulse to do something different. Because something about like this game's, especially at the time that this game came out, this is 94, right? So prior to this, you got the first 3 games, but then it's like after Castlevania 3, it's like they didn't really know what to do. Not counting the Game Boy games with Christopher, because you've got 4, which is a remake of 1. Well, I mean, a remake. It's the same storyline. It's Simon Belmont goes into Dracula's castle, fights him, and then you get the X86 game, Chronicles Original Mode, originally released in '93, which is another Simon Belmont goes to the castle and fights Dracula again. So it's very odd to me that there was this period of time where like every Castlevania game was just Simon Belmont goes into Dracula's castle and fights him again. And well, actually, I guess Rondo did precede this game, but Rondo wasn't released in the West, so I guess, although neither was X86, but what I'm getting at is that I think that Castlevania was sort of it seems like there was a slight period there where Castlevania was in danger of becoming like, I don't know, like Mario, where it's like every game is the same thing. Every game is about Simon Belmont going to Dracula's castle to defeat him. But fortunately they thought better of that, and this game feels different in a way that that a lot of other like X86 and 4 feel different because they play so different, but they look very similar. Because it's like the same Simon Belmont design, and it's the same like general premise, and then with this game it's like, let's go totally bonkers, let's throw everything out the window, let's have it take place in 1917 or whatever, let's have Dracula invade Europe. Is this supposed to be happening concurrently with World War I? I don't really know like my history that well, so I don't know what year exactly World War I started or ended. There's probably more information about this game's storyline that I never learned about. I just learned the basics, like an evil lady orchestrates, I guess she assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand to start World War I to empower Dracula. I guess if anybody dies in Europe, Dracula just gets stronger, which is pretty fucking scary if you think about it. But I don't know if World War I is literally happening right now, or if it's like post-World War I, or I guess that's because you go to a fucking munitions factory in Germany at level 4, and like there's skeletons there, and I'm guessing that didn't happen in World War I actually. Like I don't know my history, so I don't know for sure if at any point in the war munitions factory was taken over by skeletons, but I don't think so. I think I would remember if we had covered that in my high school history classes, representing the apex of my education. This part's actually kind of easier with Eric, because it's easier to like keep distance. Because what you really want to do is I really want to get into that 5C room with I call it the 5C room because it looks like 5C from Castlevania 3. And Castlevania 3 is sort of like the default bedrock of my brain. That's interesting to note. So when I did the super jump there, I actually damaged the harpy, and I didn't know for a long time that the super jump did damage. That's a rare spot where that's relevant, because usually the fact that the super jump does damage is not relevant because it doesn't do that much damage. Like, it won't usually do enough damage to kill something. So if you super jump into something to damage it, like, it won't die and then you'll get hit, and it's like not worth it. But there with the harpies, because damaging them knocks them back, you can actually utilize it for that purpose there. So that's something that I think, why did I do that? I don't know why I got rid of the super attack and picked up the boomerang instead. I think that was probably a mistake. I probably just forgot what was in that, yeah, okay, I wanted the axe and I forgot which torch had the axe in it. Because I definitely want the axe for the next stage coming up. Yeah, I don't know if Dracula just gets stronger every time there's a war in Europe. If so, that's pretty fucking scary, because World War II is coming up pretty soon. I'm also unclear on the whole, like, Dracula comes back every 100 years thing, because I thought that they had just, like, scrapped that by the time they got to, like, Belmont's Revenge, where, like, Dracula just comes back after 16 years. I figured they were just saying, ah, fuck it, but no, I recently, I won't talk too much about this, because I'm gonna have a lot more to say about it later, but I actually started playing Symphony of the Night, this week, and which, by the way, should goes to show like how far ahead I am with these commentaries, which is probably not good. Like, I think it would probably be better for these videos if I waited until, like, if I did these commentaries closer to the time that I actually did these runs, because I think I would probably have more insight if they were, like, super fresh in my head. But I feel like I have a pretty good memory of, like, what these games were like and why I did the things that I did strategically. I might not remember, like, specific individual events, like I'd forgotten there whether I died to the Medusa heads in level 2, but I feel like I have a pretty good memory of these games and what they're like. But it might be a little bit, it might be smarter to hold off until I've, like, hold off on, like, playing any new games until I've, like, caught up with my commentaries and make them pretty more, like, fresh. But the reason I bring this up is because Symphony of the Night specifically brings up the whole, like, Dracula comes back every 100 years thing, and, like, implies that something specific has to be done to circumvent that. But I'm not sure... So I don't know how this game fits into that. I don't know if... Because I feel like Dracula's not scheduled to come back in 1917. Right? Because I know Rondo is, like, 1790 something? And I know 3 is, like, 1450 something, so, like, either way, we're several decades off. So I don't get what, so I don't know if, like, if the lady is resurrecting him ahead of schedule. I also don't understand, like, if he gets resurrected early, does that, like if he was, let's say hypothetically he was supposed to come back in, like, 1950 something, right? Like, during the Korean War. That's interesting. Okay, so the reason that I dropped the axe there is because I really wanted the axe for the gargoyles going up those floating platforms, but I don't necessarily need the axe here, because the thing about Eric is that Eric can just fucking hit this thing with his spear, and the super spear does a bunch of damage, so it's actually probably better for my overall damage to hit him with the spear instead of the axe, which means that the spear is no longer useful. However, the, like, super ball attack that comes with the super spear, the magic attack, might be good for the first stage of level 4, because the first stage of level 4 is kind of like, I try to run through it without taking damage, but it's still, like, there's a bunch of, like, skeletons throwing bones at you, like, swarming you, so I think my strategy here is to try to hold on to the super magic attack going into the first stage of level 4, because the further I can get into level 4 with the super spear, like, the better. Like, there's so many spots in that level where doing more damage is... I mean, doing more damage is always better, but at that level, because level 4 is specifically dangerous, I definitely want it for that one. So that's, I think, what I'm thinking there. See, I can remember this shit. I can remember things that happened, like, you know, a month ago. So yeah, like if Dracula was scheduled to come back in like the 1950s, I don't know if like him being brought back in 1917 would like consume that, or if he was still would come back. Okay, but then I pick up the wrong sub-weapon anyway, so much for that plan. That was probably a mistake. I'm sure I probably wanted to just like be spamming the magic attack as I was running through here, but I think I just accidentally picked up the axe and I was just like, ah, fuck it. Whatever. Because the fact that Eric can't attack diagonally in the air the way that Chad can means that the axe is actually still useful. Because the axe gives him the ability to do that he otherwise wouldn't. I don't know, maybe it makes sense that you can't, like, stab somebody with a spear while you're jumping, like, up like that, because, I don't know, I mean, I guess it's probably pretty fucking heavy. I mean, I don't know how heavy, like a medieval halberd is, but I'm guessing it's pretty fucking heavy. And here, I think I'm going to try to go for the 1-up that's up there, even though it's only attainable by Chad, because I'm like not sure. Yeah, no, I can't get it. I thought maybe I could like make it here, but no. Nope, it's not going to happen. Oh well. Yeah, that's interesting actually. The fact that, am I trying to, yeah, no, it's not going to happen, Shovitar, just let it go. That's kind of strange, honestly. The fact that there's 1-ups that are attainable on Chad, but not on Eric. There's actually 2 like that on this level, because I know that there's one that I know for a fact you can only get with the whip swing. And there, I'm pretty sure, the one that I tried to get, I'm pretty sure you can't get that without using the whip to swing across the pits, so... Very strange. Very strange. I guess maybe they figured it was a balancing factor, like, because the concept behind Eric is that he's supposed to be easier to use. This is a fucking shit show. Okay. I should, like, taking 1 damage there is okay. I absolutely should not have walked into that guy again. That was kind of ridiculous. Hum. Let's see if I get through this stage as well here as I did on the Chad run. I call him Chad because I think it's funny. I obviously know his name is actually John. John Morris is actually a character from the Bram Stoker Dracula novel. Although I think that's supposed to be maybe his son, like John Morris II. Because, oh no, Quincy Morris is the character from the novel. I think John Morris is supposed to be his son. And it's funny because I was like, when I first learned about this game, I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's like a whip-wielding protagonist who's not like a Belmont. Did the Belmont line like die out? Was there a Belmont who is a virgin? Oh, this is actually real quick. This is actually a level where the super jump is useful. Like, I think I can just use it here to skip up past this last like gear section. Yeah, there's a guy up there, so I'm gonna kill him first. Then I pick up the super spear right when I really want it, which is right the fuck here. Hopefully, I swear to God, if I lose the super spear in this section, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. Because this is like perfect. This is exactly what I want. Yes. Okay, I wonder if a ghost is still gonna hit me somehow. Because I feel like, yep, there it is. Oh well, I still got the attack off. I still killed like 2 of the ghosts. Now I just have to not fuck up on Frankenstein. And I don't really know how I handle this. I feel like you're maybe supposed to stand on that Don't do it, Shovitar. Don't do it. Okay. I feel like you're maybe supposed to stand on that platform right in front of him when he does like the lightning attack, but it just seems like so risky. Oh my god. Ugh, that's so awful. That's so awful. God, I can't believe that shit, man. I got through the hard part with the fucking super balls like I wanted to, and then I just fucking choke to the nth degree on the Frankenstein boss. Yeah, I'm just not good at, like... That mini-boss just fucks me up for some reason, even though I feel like it shouldn't, because its attacks are all very, like... I think it's because the telegraph for his, like, spinny laser whip attack is very similar from the telegraph for his, like, just stabbing straight laser whip attack, so I don't, like, know exactly which one he's doing, even though it is always, like, a set pattern. Like, he always does it in the same order. I just, like, don't remember it. And I'm just so worried about, like, not getting hit by his floor lightning attack, because that's usually what hits me, that I'm like, that I think of that platform as like a safe spot where I can avoid all his attacks, but then of course his straight like forward whip attack will hit that spot. So that's what happened there. That was so bad. But oh well. Oh well. Second time's the charm. I wonder how terrible 4-9 is going to be. Because I had like a miraculous 4-9 on my Chad 1cc, but I don't remember. This is so bad. Yeah, I'm probably not in a great headspace at the moment after that shit with the Frankenstein mini boss, because I really wanted to get past that shit without dying, and I'm probably just fucked up right now. Yeah, speaking of Chad, I was talking about the John Morris character. I was like, oh, that's interesting. There's a whip-wielding protagonist who's not a Belmont, but then like the first thing it says about him in his biography is like, oh, he's the descendant of Quincy Morris, who is secretly related to the Belmonts. It's like, oh, okay. You'd think Van Helsing would be the guy who's secretly related to the Belmonts, because Van Helsing is like also like Eastern European or like continental European or something. The Belmonts are from Transylvania, so I don't know why there's this like British guy named Quincy who's like supposedly related to the Belmonts. Who I don't even remember. Maybe it's because he's the guy who puts the stake in Dracula at the end. I don't remember. I don't remember if it's him who does that or if it's Van Helsing. Like Van Helsing is obviously like the guy who masterminds the whole thing. I know Van Helsing kills the lady vampire, but I don't remember if he kills Dracula. He's like the guy who personally kills Dracula too. I just don't recall. It's been a long time since I've read that book. Now, how do I handle this? I should just go for it. I should probably... God, this part is so stressful, dude. I really... Okay, yeah, good. Go, 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 go. Alright. Don't get hit by the bat. Alright, perfect. Yeah, I really prefer challenges to let me, like, sit and chill for a second and try to, like, gather my thoughts. That section is, like... it's like trying to do, It's like trying to do a Sudoku puzzle while someone's, like, throwing baseballs at you. I pick up the holy... Oh, I'm gonna get hit by this, aren't I? Oh, yep. Oh, well. Yeah, I always forget how to dodge that. Because I usually get through that first phase so fast that he never gets a chance to do it. But if I, like, fuck up and I don't hit him enough times to get him into phase 2, then he does that attack and I always forget how to dodge it. You just have to go underneath him. It's really simple. This whole fight is really simple. It's just about, like, knowing when he's gonna do what. Because a lot of his attacks kind of have similar telegraphing. This goofy-ass boss. This is the goofiest boss in the whole game. I think they're, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of, like, cool boss fight concepts you could do for, like, a weapons factory that's been taken over by evil skeletons, but instead they went with, like, a boss that's basically like a joke. They went with, like, a comedy robot boss. Instead of, I don't know, like a fucking tank. I mean, a tank would just kill you, obviously, so they couldn't have you literally fight a tank, but I would hope they go with something cooler. Maybe they thought that was cool. I'm standing still. Am I using the facilities? I bet I am. Okay, well... I wish I... Well, I mean, when nature calls, you know... I kind of wish I didn't do this, but this is also a thing where it's like... If I'm going to try to 1cc a game that's, like, hard, if I'm going to try to do something difficult, I really don't want to be distracted. And it's like... I think this is also because I tend to play these games, like... I mean, I played these games a lot, but in some of these cases, it's like right after I've had my coffee, so it's like I'm caffeinated, but I'm gonna have to answer the call of nature at some point. I don't, you know, and it's regrettable, but it's just one of those things. And I have to do it here, because this is like a good. I mean, I guess I could wait until the password screen comes up, but I just chose to do it here. Oh well. What's interesting about this game, and this is one of the many ways in which it diverges from the other Castlevania games, is that there's no like clock tower level in this game. There's not really. I guess the Tower of Pisa is kind of like a tower level, but like clock tower levels are particularly bad because they like to combine verticality with obnoxious platforming when gears are like moving you around. That one has the gears and the conveyor belts, but it's not vertical in really any significant way. So they kind of like, they have like a gear level and then a vertical level, but they didn't combine the two, which I think is smart. It's when those two are put together that you get kind of you get a very obnoxious level. Like the clock tower in 2, or the clock tower in Dracula's Curse, kind of annoying. Kind of not a very fun level to play. Unless you have Grant like from the start. Excuse me. And this level is just odd. Like there aren't many like a lot of these levels have more like visual themes than gameplay themes necessarily. Oh, I really want that. I really want that. I don't get it in time. Fuck. Oh no, I do get it in the time. Okay, great, perfect. So I really, really want that for the big yellow guy, the Banana Knight that shows up at the end of stage 5-2, because there's like no way to kill him unless you either have a sub-weapon that can hit him at really far range, like the look at how fucking big the hitbox on that spearhead is. I stabbed the air like 10 feet next to that monkey and it still died. God damn. Look at that, like get the chandelier kill. Alright, I'm motoring. Now just don't take fucking damage before you get to the big banana guy. Okay. Okay. Hanging in there. Yeah, there's only a few ways to kill the banana man. And the best way to do it is just go in with like a super weapon and then use the super magic attack to kill it, because otherwise there's like no way to fight it. Because it's the ultimate just walk at you enemy, where it just walks at you. While also swinging a giant weapon in front of it. And then it just fucking dies, right? Thank you. Perfect, 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 perfect. Now this part, see, I would use the super attack here, but okay, that's fucking dumb, man. That's like my least favorite thing in these games, when enemies hit you from the fucking floor. Like, it really doesn't feel like it should be possible. I was really tempted to use the super attack there, but I didn't want to trigger, like... I probably just should have, honestly. I probably should have just, like, spammed it until all these things were dead. Because it's not, like, that big of a deal to just crouch and, like, and rapid attack with the spear in that room. So that's probably what I should have done. Oh well, hindsight is 20/20. It's the point of these videos. It's me to talk about what went right and what went wrong. These eyeballs are very strange. Like, it's strange that they shoot Star Wars lasers. And I don't think I've seen I haven't seen any enemies like this in any of the other Castlevania games that I've played. Like laser turrets? I don't know. Now, even worse, the fact that I got hit back there means that now I don't have the super spear super attack for the fucking Igor Gauntlet, and now I have the fucking holy water for some reason, which I should probably just use the super attack. I think my strategy here, generally speaking, is to try to just outrun these things. And if any of them land in front of me, just let them jump over my head like they did there. Or, like, I guess kill them if I can. Okay. That's not so bad. I mean, that was bad, but it's not like... It could have been a lot worse. But something that to mention here is that this is another no-meat level, where Eric doesn't get any meat in level 5. He doesn't, the game doesn't think he deserves it. So, that 5 health that I have, I would like for it to last the rest of the level. Because, like I think I said in my last 1cc video, the nature of level 6 on expert mode is that I need to go in there with 2 lives, basically. If I don't go in there with 2 lives, I need to just play like a fucking god on the boss rush, and you know, Medusa you can do without taking damage. Dracula is a much tougher bet, and the death fight especially, and especially with this guy, because he can't like get the same range, get the same angles of attack that Chad can on the death fight is like a problem. So I would really like to go into the boss rush with 2 lives. I guess I should just explain. On normal mode, you get a heal in the middle of the boss rush. On expert mode, you do not. So dying at some point in there is practically guaranteed. I mean, unless you're a fucking beast, of course. And is this... do I fuck this up? I really hope I don't, because I would actually really like to go into the boss at this stage with the Super Spear, too. I have a lot of gems. I should probably actually be using them here. Yeah, didn't quite get to have the timing down there. Oh shit, and now I'm 1 hit away from death. Holy fuck. Yep, okay. Okay, so, oh, I know what happened. So what I was trying to do there was, I was trying to jump and then attack downward, which is like you jump and then you press down and you hit the attack button. But I was like out of sequence. So what I basically pressed down too soon. So instead of jumping and then attacking down, I was ducking and attacking. And that was like the biggest problem, the biggest mistake I made, like input wise, in like this game. Because there are a couple places where I would really like to jump and then down attack, but if I try to duck and attack, I'm just gonna get fucking hit, like right there. Damn it. It's unfortunate. And especially because, like, I mean, I had so many fucking gems, I probably didn't even need to, like, fuck with the projectiles in that way. I could've just spammed the fucking orbs. Oh well. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, I'm fucking up right from the start. Well, at least I destroyed all the projectiles. Yeah, I'm supposed to bait them over to the right, because baiting them over to the right means that one of the projectiles intercepts the tower that I'm trying to actually hit, and I can destroy some of the projectiles while I'm dealing damage to the tower. That's kind of what I... Tower, to the pillar, that's what I want. And then I want to, yeah, jump over. That's what I was trying to do before, and I just fucked it up because I was nervous, and I don't really... I'm not usually that good under pressure. It's one of the big problems I have with these games with trying to go for these challenge runs, is that, I mean, I've gotten better as I've gotten more used to it, but I do still have trouble handling the pressure. Is there an axe here that I can pick up? That'd be really nice. Okay, good. Now, last time, in my normal run, I kind of fucked up on this boss, but I'm going in with full health here, so the odds of me dying are practically 0. This boss is like hard to hit, but it doesn't really do that much. It's not gonna do that much damage to you unless you're like bad at dodging its little spore attack. I probably should have just stayed on that fucking platform, honestly. See, I'm trying to bully it in the corner again, but it keeps on like fucking me up and like not staying where I expect it to go. Okay, that's intercepting the lunge. That's what I'm supposed to do. Is wait for it to like wind up his little attack. And he's dead. Okay, yeah, see, that's how that fight should go. But now I'm in kind of a shitty position because... Or I'm in rather the same position that I was in with my last 1cc, I think, where I have 2 lives going into level 6, but that means that I can't die on level 6 at all. And, like, I think I've said before that 2 lives is the minimum acceptable life count for level 6. Optimally, I'd be going into level 6 with as many lives as possible, because level 6 has the boss rush, where you're probably guaranteed to die, but before that it has a couple of tricky platforming sections, which it would be nice to have some wiggle room on. The gimmick rooms, as I call them. The upside down, the fuck with your perspective room, and then the upside down room. Both of which I don't like, but which I don't classify as like major problems because they're not like they're not random and they're not they're not as bad as like the 8-2 platforms in Castlevania 4. They're annoying, but they're learnable, and that's kind of what I look for in challenges like this, where like, is there a consistent solution? Is there a way to do it? And that's what I mean when I talk about a way to do it. I mean like a way to like do it consistently. Not just is it theoretically possible to complete, but is it possible to complete in a way that makes sense and that you can execute consistently. That's what you fucking need for a game where you're trying to like play it without dying. Excuse me. The Upside Down room, the Make Shobatar Nauseous room. Not a huge fan. That was really fucking close. I held onto that platform by the very edge of my heel. Good on the developers for making the platforming forgiving enough that didn't kill me. Oh, this is so fucking... Oh my god, okay. Yeah, this part, even if you don't die, you're practically guaranteed to like take some damage. Jump! Okay, good. Jump! Okay, wait. Go. Jump! Okay, perfect. I was coaching myself. Coaching my past self. Okay, what do I do here? I pick up the holy water. Well... I don't know. I probably should have held on to the super attack, because... The reason that I picked up the holy water there is because I want to do, like, my consistent method of getting through this hallway without getting hit, which is just, as soon as I hear them coming, just sub-weapon the way I'm facing, and then immediately turn around and like attack whatever's behind me before I even can see anything. The reason I didn't want to do that with the orbs is because I guess I was afraid of running out of gems. If I did that, like if I hit the sub-weapon attack on every single one of these guys charging at me, but the thing about that is that the sub-weapon, the super magic attack, hits both forward and behind me. So I wouldn't have to worry about turning around. I could probably get through that room faster. And I could... I don't know. Like, maybe I wouldn't get here with that many gems, but you can farm gems in this place. You can go up and down the stairs to respawn the torches. So... I don't know. And as before, I'm doing the easiest ones first. The ones where I'm the most certain I can take no damage, so that way I can take full advantage of the Super Spear without losing it. Look at how much fucking damage this thing does. God damn. If I take damage here, I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Which I feel like look, I have 36 gems. Like I have all these gems that I'm just doing absolutely nothing with. So I really should have been more aggressive with my use of the magic attacks when I had them. That's my biggest takeaway from a lot of these Castlevania videos, these runs that I go back and commentate, is like, man, I am seriously underutilizing my gems. Or like underutilizing my hearts. But oh well. That's a bad habit I have in a lot of games, like over preparing. Not utilizing the tools that are available to me in the most effective way. Efficiency, that's what I'm looking for, efficiency. Now the easy version of this fight, which is actually easier especially because you can get out of phase 1 faster. And I'm pretty sure... come on, get him! Okay. Wow, alright. Okay, that right there, that's Eric. That's an Eric difference right there. Because I think I was like 1 pixel away from getting hit by his like flailing arms. If I had the whip instead of the spear, I would have gotten hit there. But the real question is, can I get through the golem with the super spear? And I'm guessing the answer is no. I'm guessing I get hit here. Because that's just usually what happens. Like, a fucking rock will hit me. I should really be using the diagonal attack. I shouldn't be jumping, because jumping, I feel like, commits me to a certain spot for longer. But I guess I just want to make sure I'm hitting both of the segments, because sometimes the diagonal attack, I guess, won't do that. Or maybe I just want to take advantage of being farther away from him. Well, it's going okay so far, but... Oh, wow, okay, I get through it without taking damage. Alright, go me. Good for me. Alright, how long do I have it on the death fight? I'm guessing death hits me with like his first attack, and then I just lose the sphere. Yeah, this is an Eric. This is another like Eric difference right here. The fact that I'm holding onto the spear for so long, like I can just maintain so much more distance on these enemies than I think I initially realized, or that I like definitely more than I gave credit for in my terrible last commentary, where I like was barely awake and was not a functioning human being who was capable of communication. Alright, here, come on, do it, do it, do it! Alright, I did it, but I got hit anyway? Interesting. So what I really wanted to do there was pull off a like jump down duck attack, but I guess I jumped too soon and landed on top of them, because I was a little bit too eager to get it done properly. And that was actually super close. I think if that spinning scythe had hit me, it might have killed me. But fortunately I killed him right before it did. Not a great death fight, but I survived. That's all I had to do. Now it's on to the Medusa fight. And this is actually interesting. Well, actually, it's not interesting yet. It's going to be interesting probably later. The fact that the duck, god damn it, you have to wait so fucking long for that fucking attack. I hate that shit, man. I feel like you should, because it's like, you have to wait until it's like literally right the fuck next to you. Do I get it this time? Alright, I get it this time. Yeah, the thing about the Medusa fight is that on phase 2, the fact that your ducking stab attack has worse range means that it's actually kind of like relevant, because after you attack her you want to duck, but it's like tough. If you want to duck and attack her at the same time, you gotta be closer to her. So even though the spear does have larger range, it can kind of be, it can still be trickier to well, actually, I guess I guess it's only relevant if I fuck up the attack in midair. If I fuck up the attack in midair and then try to duck to hit her, I would have to be closer to her than I would on John, probably. Because actually, Eric's crouch attack is shorter, but I don't actually know if it's shorter than Blip. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about. I couldn't hit her while I was crouching. I had to stand up to hit her, and that was the consequence. So. Oh well. Oh well. I got through the important part. I got through the death fight and the boss rush without dying. Now I just have to not horribly fuck up on Medusa. And if I can get to Dracula with full health, I'm in safe waters. Well, never 100% safe, but navigable waters. How's that for a phrase? Navigatable. And I dodge the tail. Do I dodge the tail again? Yeah, this is what I mean when I talk about Eric's lower damage being relevant. Like, on Chad, you only have to dodge like one tail, and Eric gets to dodge two, and I can't believe that hit me. I cannot fucking believe that hit me now. Like what? Maybe I should like super jump there. I don't know. I honestly, I probably should have. I probably should have super jumped there. Because I would spend so much time in the air that it would like pretty much a guarantee. That never occurred to me until just now. See, I should watch back footage of this shit more often. Like I should record like failed attempts and then look back over the recording and like, because like all these insights that I'm having now would have been really nice to have back then. I mean, obviously not that makes a huge difference because I got it anyway, but both of these 1cc's are like, I die as many times as I possibly can, which is not usually, which is only acceptable because of how stingy Bloodlines is with its extra lives. Normally, like, ending a 1cc, like one life away from death is not good. With this game, the fact you only have like so many, oh, do I... Interesting. Okay, so there's the lightning attack. Not super threatening because there's only one of them, but it's bad that she got it off in the first place. And that's another consequence of the crouching thing that I talked about. And if you're wondering why I don't like pre-position myself more aggressively, like why do I wait? Why don't I just like run to the right and then back to the left immediately to catch her as soon as she comes in? It's because she teleports to the side of the screen that I think you're furthest away from. So, or the one you're not facing towards, if you're in the middle maybe. So it's easier to just stay on the very edge of the middle of the screen to bait her into going to the direction that you're facing and then just jumping and attacking her. So it's not actually a set pattern of right, left, it's wherever she thinks, wherever is farthest away from you. It's kind of like the shaft fight in Rondo. It kind of reminds me of, with the orbs and like the teleporting back and forth. Obviously, it's much easier than the shaft fight because you just have to hit her. It's like the one aspect of the shaft fight, like being to like stay on him and attack him, but this time it's like the whole fight. Yeah, and because I fucked up the lightning bit, now I have to go through one more cycle to do the fucking 6-attack sword attack. Yeah, this fight. This is really a fight that I think could have used less health. Like I get it. I clearly get what I'm supposed to do. Is she dead? Okay, yeah, she's dead. I was confused for a second there because it looked like it looked like she was going to teleport back to the center of the screen and like wind up another attack, but I guess not. She dies. The character who is either Medusa or the evil vampire lady, who is responsible for the whole plot, is dead, and I still don't know which one. I don't care. You'd think you'd fight Medusa in the Greece level. Like, you'd think that'd be a fucking no-brainer. And you think you'd fight, like, the Minotaur in the Rome level. Oh no, the Minotaur is also a Greek thing. I guess there were Minotaurs in the Greece level, they just weren't a boss. You think you fight Medusa in the Greece level, instead you fight Golem, a big, like, weird, fucking ridiculous-looking monster. I don't know. Is Dracula ginger again in this one? He is. Okay. So they kept that from 4. Not too much to say, but I guess what's interesting about this one is that he does explicitly angle his attacks towards you. It seems like he's better at aiming his fireballs in this version of the fight than he is in certainly in Rondo, because in Rondo you can just duck underneath his fireballs as Maria and he can't do anything about it. But here, I think Dracula's learned how to shoot fireballs at an angle, which means that intercepting them like this is the best way to make sure you don't get hit. I don't know, there's probably another way to do this, maybe, but I don't know what it is. And Phase 2 is actually the part where Eric's increased range is good, because it means that I can intercept, because like, if you can knock him around when he's trying to dive towards you, that's really nice, and I can hit him like that. Really good. I don't have to jump to hit him when he does... Or do I? No, I don't. Yeah, I don't have to jump to him when he does that, like Chad does. So, very good. Actually, you know what? Eric's longer range is actually relevant on Phase 2 and Phase 3. Although in Phase 3, the fact that he can't whip diagonally upward while jumping fucks with my normal strategy. I have to kind of like do a more I have to kind of play it more by ear, be more like reactive, which is not really what I want. I want to just like fucking slam him in a corner over and over again and keep him like completely under control. But unfortunately, he's fucking flying around all over the place, and I'm not really able to set up my not a stun lock, but like a position lock, which is what I want. It seems like I don't want to jump at him at all. I think I'm afraid to jump at him. Okay, but now I have to jump. God damn, that's so fucking close. Oh my god, I can't fucking believe... Okay. Ah... I guess I have to be that close to him, though, if I want to jump over the edge of the fire stream. So I guess I don't have a choice, although it is extremely risky. And is this what I think it is? Yep, that's a no damage Dracula. Alright. See, that's why I'm happy with this, even though I died as many times as I possibly could. That is a fucking 0 damage Bloodlines Dracula. That's pretty fucking cool. If only I pulled that off on Chad in my last 1cc, I would have gotten a really sick climactic Dracula kill, but pull it off on Eric, where I guess it must be easier to do, because you have a longer range on the spear, maybe? I mean, that was relevant in Phase 2, I don't know how relevant that was in Phase 3 necessarily. It made Phase 1 of Phase 3, like, trickier, but it also maybe made jumping over the fires and hitting him in Phase 2 easier too? I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah, I mean, so, is this dude Lecarde or what? I think I said that earlier, but I never really, like, completed my thought. His name is Eric Lecarde. He has the Lecarde spear, which is like a... I don't even know... Maybe it's just a reference. Because Lecarde doesn't have blonde hair. Yeah, that's not Lecarde. Lecarde doesn't have blonde hair and blue eyes. Venture forth into greater unknowns. Or probably not, because I don't think this character ever reappears. I do not think that John Morris or Eric Lecarde make any appearances in any later games. I could, of course, be completely wrong. Maybe they come back in like one of the GBA or the DS games, but that would really surprise me, because this game is so weird and so different from all the other ones that it's like it seems like its own thing. It's like taking place in its own like spin-off timeline universe or something. So that's Castlevania Bloodlines. I think I kind of already summarized my feelings in my last videos, but I guess I'll just summarize them again by saying this game is like... This is probably the best Castlevania game I've played since 3. It's definitely better than Dracula X. It's better than or since Rondo, I should say. It's better than Dracula X, better than 4. Definitely not better than Rondo. Not better than 3, not better than 1. Although, the thing about Castlevania 1 is that Castlevania 1 has Stage 22, and I think Stage 22 is actually terrible. It's not terrible enough to classify it as a major problem for me, because it is learnable, kind of, and because the game is so short, it like doesn't matter so much that there's this preposterous roadblock towards the end, because towards the end in Castlevania 1 is like 20 minutes in. So it's not a huge deal, but and plus this game has more like small like problems than it doesn't really have one big like crippling problem. It just has lots of small ones, like the gimmick stages in 6 are kind of stupid. I really don't like the visual design for most of the enemies, or for most of the bosses in the game. I think Death looks fine, although I don't know why he's wearing orange. Maybe he's just changing up his look. I don't really like the art style very much of this game. But in terms of the gameplay, solid gameplay. Can't say anything bad about that. Lots of blast processing. Lots of genetics going on, the Genesis sense. So that's Castlevania Bloodlines. Hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize again for my last commentary where I didn't talk. What's coming up next? I think Castlevania Chronicles is coming up next? Yeah, I think it's going to be Chronicles next, and I'm going to have a lot to say about Chronicles, so I shouldn't have any problem talking about that one when the time comes. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you around. Congratulations, I am Master of the Vampire Killer. Wait, I thought I was Master of the Lecarde Spear, because the Vampire kills the whip, so I should be the Master of the Spear. Doesn't that make more sense than that?